got me. She knew how to motivate me. She knew how to get that little bit extra out of me. I wonder whether the future of learning will include people like Mrs. Lynch. Before we look at the future of learning, we need to consider where we've come from. In the very beginning, learning was about the art of survival. We'd watch and learn from our parents as they built structures, made our clothes, showed us how to hunt and sustain the elements around us. As civilizations developed, we started to wonder about the world around us. They would debate topics such as reason, philosophy and agriculture, and wise leaders would gather students together as mentors in a lot of ways. But as we continually got more sophisticated, we had to consider technical areas that we needed to improve on, such as trades and craftsmanship. The vocational way of learning was developed to address these needs, and it was very much a theory-based and practical-based learning approach. The apprentice was born, and technical professional tradespeople would pass on their knowledge. Over the past 200 years, we needed a more sophisticated society, one that was going to be able to solve complex problems. So we created the institutional way of learning to produce this in a mass proportion. Teachers were there to lecture and run to a curriculum. But what have we learned over this time frame? Well, it's obvious to me that our natural learning style is through observation, participation and taking action, or a hands-on approach to learning, if you like. So, what does this mean? What does it mean for the future? And is the institutional way of learning going to serve us well for the next 200 years? Don't know. One thing's for sure, there's never been so many opportunities for education. There's never been so many of our population in training across the world. So I wonder whether the traditional way is still available. I mean, there's a common saying that goes around that says degrees will once guarantee you a job. Recently, in 2014, a survey showed that 32% of grads from 2014 couldn't get full-time work 2 months after graduation. That's the highest percentage since 1982, since they began recording that. So why is this? Well, this is an example of technology and the pace of change. 2 Pope inaugurations, 8 years apart. It's breathtaking how fast it's happening around us. And quite simply, traditional jobs that were once guaranteed by degrees are just not going to exist in the future. Here's some more examples. The CEO of Uber predicts that by 2030, his entire fleet will be driverless. His service will be so inexpensive that car ownership will be obsolete. Think of the impacts that will have on our environment, our industry, and just our way of life. Another industry which is exciting and ripe for disruption is the health industry. Many health practitioners will lose their jobs. They need to upskill to remain relevant in their field. Automation and robotics are going to improve efficiencies in surgery and predictive diagnosis. Incredible to think about. But what does it all mean? We're obvious that throughout history we've had to make dramatic changes and we've taken action. History shows that. But over the next 10 to 15 years, they predict that 40% of Aussie jobs will be gone. But it's not all bad. If you think about the opportunities that we will have from efficiencies, it's mind-boggling. There'll be jobs that are created that we haven't even thought of yet. Our challenge will be to identify what we need to learn to maximise opportunities in the future. But we also need to have the courage that we've had in the past to walk that new path. So, the new jobs, what will they look like? Well, and what will we need to learn? We need to start thinking about the characteristics of those. So manually intensive administrative jobs, we know they'll go. We know that technical professional roles will stay, and they'll require a different way of thinking, out-of-the-box thinking, creative, individual ideas. But what about school? What about primary school? In my view, I think we will see technology immerse like we have never seen before. Technology will be a part of the curriculum. But it'll be exciting because students will be able to collaborate across the world and share ideas, solve problems. It's a really interesting part to think about. Entrepreneurship is a passion of mine. I think it should be taught as early as primary school. We should be teaching kids what it means to set up a website, teach them about e-commerce, teach them about building a business from scratch, but importantly, show them the various paths that they can go on. There's so many opportunities for them to explore. The way in which we learn in the future will be supercharged. No longer will it take years to get a degree or a qualification. It'll be required in months because that's what we'll need to do. Industry will have to work very closely with training organisations and universities to fill skills gaps that they need solved straight away. Virtual reality is another exciting way of learning. This is already happening, but think about it. Your students in an immersive virtual environment where they can practice safely, build confidence before they go out and put their skills to use in real projects. It's exciting to think about. The other area which I really can't wait to see this immersed is learning through games. And again, it's happening now. It's not new, but it's going to gain momentum. McDonald's recently sent out a till training game to 1,300 of their restaurants in the UK. It was so engaging that it started trending on social media. That's the power of the future of learning. I think what we need to keep front of mind about the future of learning is we can't forget the importance of human-to-human interaction. And we certainly can't forget about the value and the power of working in teams and supporting each other through that learning process. But most importantly, we can't think about the legends like my primary school teacher, Mrs. Lynch. She has to be there in the future of learning. Thank you.